Join me on this adventure as we travel back to Bible time. We're going to be joining Abraham as he travels from Ur to the land of Canaan, as recorded in Genesis chapter 11, verse 27 through chapter 13, verse 18. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, the son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, and his son Abram's wife, and they went out with them from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran and dwelt there. So the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. It's amazing to me, because as I researched this for this project, that it's 600 miles between Ur and Haran that they traveled. They didn't have cars. They didn't have scooters or anything of that sort. And they traveled 600 miles on ancient roads, ancient paths, and went from Ur to Haran. Then Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran, and they departed to go to the land of Canaan. So they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Mamre, and the Canaanites were then in the land. The Hebrew Bible portrays the Canaanites as the original inhabitants of the Promised Land. As I researched this, it's about 400 miles that they traveled. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. And he moved from there to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. So Abram journeyed along, still toward the south. So it was, when Abram came to Egypt, that the Egyptians saw the woman, and she was very beautiful. The princes of Pharaoh also saw her and commended her to Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. He treated Abram well for her sake. He had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male and female servants, female donkeys, and camels. And so they were in Egypt, and the Egyptians were very wealthy. The Egyptians thought Sarah was very beautiful. And so it was very clear that Abraham needed to return to his land and leave the land of Egypt. And then Abram went up from Egypt, and he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him to the south. Abram was very rich in livestock and silver and in gold. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. Lot also went with Abram, and had flocks and herds and tents. Now the land was not able to support them, and they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. The Canaanites and the Perizzites then dwelt in the land. The Canaanites and the Perizzites were 2 of 7 nations living and dwelling in Canaan. And it was very apparent that they had so many people there, between Lot's and Abram's people, that they couldn't dwell together. The resources that they had just were not going to accommodate the number of people. And finally, then Abram moved his tent and went and dwelt by the terebinth tree of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and he built an altar there to the Lord. This is the culmination of his trip from Ur to the land of Canaan.